Nintendo Switch 2 can run original Nintendo Switch games. Everyone knows that. But here's the thing, some of these games actually feature free updates. Yeah, meaning that if you insert them in the brand new Nintendo Switch 2 and download the update, you'll get to experience them in brand new ways. And here we have a collection of at least 10-ish games here that actually have free updates on the Nintendo Switch 2. Yep. Let's get on with the video. Starting with ARMS. I'm not gonna lie, I almost forgot about ARMS was a thing. I mean, I know I played a little bit back in 2017, and that was it. Just never really, I don't know, it wasn't really for me. But I respect the characters in the game. But according to the Nintendo website, playing ARMS on Switch 2 will improve the visuals and the frame rate of the game too. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. The frame rate. Well, I'm happy to report that this is actually the case. ARMS looks a bit crisper on Switch 2, and it's high resolution, and the frame rate seems to remain at 60 FPS no matter what, which is great. Playing in 4-player split screen is where the game benefits the most from the upgrade. ARMS used to run at 30 FPS on the original Switch, which is alright, but I mean, take a look at the Switch. If you look at the Switch 2, it's night and day. It looks so good now. Too bad it's still the game ARMS, and the game is pretty mid, honestly. Even better resolution and frame rate, I just don't see myself playing this one, honestly. Big Brain Academy is a little fun game where you have to solve puzzles, and they start easy and then become quite difficult. So basically in this game, you will show off if you're smart or not. Playing this game on Switch 2 is not going to improve the experience whatsoever, because this game was already running perfectly on Switch 1. I mean, you look at the graphics, even the freaking GameCube could run this game. Well, there is a new feature, however, and it's game share support. Basically, if you boot up the game on Switch 2 and enable game share, you'll be able to invite other players locally to join you, even if they do not own the cartridge themselves. That's kind of cool, especially as it allows you to play with 4 players, and you can do that locally with Switch OG owners or online with Switch 2 owners, and works really well. I must say. Next up is Captain Toad Treasure Tractor. Oh, this game was on the Wii U, originally on the Wii U, so yeah. Anyways, the visual has been optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 and now supports HDR. The game actually looks pretty good at the OG Switch, so seeing the differences is a bit difficult for me. I guess that if you're playing on a huge 4K TV, then you might see the difference. But all in all, this is not a game that really needed the upgrade, in my opinion. Thankfully, graphics are not the only thing that was upgraded. Game share is now supported for this title, allowing you to share it locally with a friend that doesn't own it. And this one also supports online sharing, meaning that you can play it with your friends from all over the world. I do have to admit that the Switch 1 player will have a blurrier experience using game share, as you play it, you'll see it. So, and also there's a little bit of lag with game share, so beware of that, please. One is the Clubhouse Games, a compilation class of board games from all around the world. This game is pretty chill and fun to play with people in the same room as yourself. But now you can use game share to play locally or online with only one single cartridge. Considering this game is a collection of classic family night board games, it is the perfect title for a cozy gaming night with your friends and family, while using game chat to talk with them. Playing checkers has never been that fun and simple. So, yeah, sorry checkers. So the Garage is next. The software meant to teach you about the programming and coding, but without having to type in a single line of code. You'll be inserting and connecting some little nodes, and eventually you'll be able to create some experiences and games for yourself. But you know what? The user interface was always a bit tedious to navigate using the joystick. And well, of course, with the new mouse feature, with the Joy-Con 2, you can use the mouse. The mouse is so much easier. It's faster as well. And it's way more enjoyable. It's a pretty good addition to this game. And you can even use both Joy-Con 2s at once for some dual mouse cursor action. Now, this is a big brain moment right here. Round of applause for your smart people. kind of weird that new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe was the game chosen for the free updates, as to me, it's a pretty decent looking game already. Especially considering it's a Wii U game originally. Anyways, this one features optimized visuals, and well, I couldn't really tell. There's not really any difference, honestly. There's not a big difference at all. There's not a difference at all. I'm sorry. There's, I mean, now there is a big difference that the game actually loads faster. So that's something, right? The game loads faster. No more slow levels. But that's it. That's it. Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet was probably the game that needed a free update the most, in my opinion, because this game runs like complete crap on Nintendo Switch. It's a buggy mess. It's kind of ugly, and the frame rate is gross. I mean, just, you look at the game. This is unacceptable. Like, in my opinion, don't get me wrong. The game is actually pretty fun, and you cannot go wrong with Pokemon. But in terms of performance and optimization, this was a total mess. Thankfully, the Nintendo Switch 2 update is now here and improved pretty much everything. The frame rate now runs at a constant 60 FPS, which is really soft on the eyes. This is what I expected Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to look like on Switch 1. But alas, it took a brand new console generation to achieve this. You also notice more Pokemon that appear at once, allowing you to fight and catch even more. Everything is so smooth now. Yeah. Honestly, the Switch 2 version, you can spend more time on than Switch 1. Because you encounter more Pokemon. But obviously, it's still a buggy Pokemon game, and the graphics are still not looking that good. But I mean, at this point, this is where we're used to from the Pokemon games, sadly. Hopefully, Pokemon Legends ZA will look a bit better, but from what I've seen so far, I really don't want to think about it. I don't care. Next up is Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Now, sadly, this is Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U. Just pretend it's on the Switch, okay? Oh, never mind. It's a Switch version. Never mind. It's a Switch version. Anyways, it's the Switch version. Now, this game originally looked and played pretty well on Switch 1, but there were some parts here and there where the game did suffer a bit, especially in the other game, Bowser's Fury, during the nighttime, where there's a lot of rain, thunder, and other environmental effects. Playing on Switch 2 pretty much fixes all of those issues and keeps the game running at a constant 60 frames per second, even when there's tons of things on the screen at once. Personally, this was never something that bugged me that much, but knowing that it is fixed now makes me happy anyways. Both the games are entirely played in co-op using one single cartridge, locally or online, which is a neat addition. So yeah, good job 3D World. Next up is Super Mario Odyssey, and well, this game actually looks and plays really well. So I'm not sure if it really needed a patch, but hey, we have it now. So let's check. So what's new? What's new in it? Well, the visuals have been improved, and the game now supports HDR. As you play the game casually, you really can't notice any difference. As well in the kingdoms, like there's not much to it. Like, I mean, look at New Donk City. You can see on the Switch 1, you can see a lot of stuff that runs like 10 frames per second in the background. The Switch 2, everything looks so much better. Those like city folks in the background are now moving at 60 FPS, so they don't look out of place anymore. It really seems like this update improved the game in areas that feature lots of polygons all at once, and that's actually a really great thing. Game share is also supported, meaning that once again you can play this game with a friend with only one cartridge, locally or all over the world via online. One player controls Mario and the other controls Cappy, and it works alright, I guess. It's not the most engaging multiplayer experience, but it's nice that it was included nonetheless. So yeah, whatever. As much as I love Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, it was pretty easy to tell that it has been downgraded to work on the classic OG Switch. The graphics were a bit blurry, the frame rate had issues when playing at bigger environments, especially on Hyrule Field. As you moved around the world, the game always seemed to stutter for a bit before eventually recovering its frame rate up until you move again. This was very noticeable, and it really gave me some headaches, at some point. Meaning that I couldn't. There's no way you could play this for like hours and hours, which is a big shame. Thankfully, the extra power of the Switch 2 will come to the rescue and make this game look even better. The game is optimized for 4K displays and looks much better now. And the frame rate has been greatly improved. Sadly, it's not perfect yet, so there are still some moments where the game looks like it's starting a bit, but it doesn't seem to happen often anymore. The game looks longer, no longer the headache, and I wish I experienced this on the Switch. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I actually wish I experienced it on the Switch 2 in the first place. So if you were on the fence about buying this game and you have the Switch 2, well, just go ahead and do it. It's worth it. Do it! Zelda Link's Awakening featured the exact same issues Echoes of Wisdom suffered from. If you move too fast in big environments, the frame rate is having a panic attack and starts to stutter. It keeps jumping from 6 FPS to 30 FPS, which is super distracting and annoying. Well, thankfully, Link's Awakening seems to have received the same kind of treatment as Echoes of Wisdom, meaning that those frame rate hiccups are mostly gone. They can still happen from time to time, but during your experience, I think it only happens like once or twice, which is godsend. The resolution has been improved, but I think it's less noticeable on this on the Switch 2. As the game didn't look that good as Echoes of Wisdom in the first place. All in all, this free update just gave us a lot of improvements, which is neat. Really, really neat. Good job. A couple days ago, out of nowhere, or actually about a week ago, a brand new Splatoon spin-off game was announced for Switch 2, and while that was cool, which interests us today is the review of a free update for Splatoon 3, which improved the visuals on the game and improves frame rate. Yep, frame rate. And areas that really need it. The plaza ran like complete doo-doo on Nintendo Switch OG, and now, well, it runs at a constant 60 FPS and looks better than ever. The bump in resolution actually makes the game more visually pleasing without getting an unfair advantage to the Switch 2 owners fighting against Switch OG players. It's a great free update, period. As you can see, this first batch of free updates is pretty useful and satisfying, but there's still way more to go. I'm sure that. I can see Nintendo drop a few here and there every month. I can see third parties join the fray eventually. Like for example, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. It runs so on Switch OG. And with a sequel on the way this winter, well, I bet this first title will get a free update, making it run at 60 FPS as well. But you know what? Only time will tell. In the meantime, check my other videos on the Switch 2. I'll see you next time. Bye bye, guys. Bye.